Taft 6th grade percussion class. This is Dr. S again. This is lesson 2 on the bells. Now, what we're going to learn to do is play things from Your First Steps in Band by Forrest Fisher. Okay, so I'm using this handout right now. And we're going to talk about this page, okay? Notice how this first note, notice that first note, look carefully, it has a little flat by it, looks like a little B, and it's a circle, and there's a line above it. That little line is called a ledger line. Notice how the second note, also a little circle, but this one is moved up and now it's right on the line. So the line's going through the center of the note. Let's look at that next where it says C and D. Notice how the D, now there's no longer a little ledger line there, but the D is right underneath the first note of your staff. Okay, C and D. I'm pointing that out to you because when we learn the names of the lines, you learn the little anagram, every good boy does fine, or every good boy deserves fudge. So what that really means is the names of the 5 lines. E, G, B, D, and F. Every good boy deserves fudge. Right? So those are the names of the lines on the staff. The names of the faces on the staff are F, A, C, E. So now that you've learned that, those notes are not on the staff. It's not until we get to that second line where we have an E and an F where that anagram will help you out. So what you have to memorize is B is down one ledger line below the staff. C is right on the ledger line below the staff. And D is right below the staff. Okay? Now that I've explained that, I'd like to explain a little bit of music theory. And I'll try and make this really painless. All of the notes on your instruments are a half step apart. Now, these half steps, and I'm going to focus you down now on my instrument. So, the last video we played from here. And then we had you play up the scale, up to the 9th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. Okay, that's the major scale. Now the major scale is put together in patterns of whole steps and half steps. Okay, so let's just quick with me. Let's start here. So the next note is D. That's a whole step because in between them is the C sharp, or sometimes called D flat. So we have C to D is a whole step. D to E is a whole step. Again, there's this note in between, D, D sharp, or E flat, and E. So this is a whole step. Okay, so now so far we have a whole step, a whole step. This next jump to F is only a half step. Whole step, half step, because there's no other note in between there. The next note is a whole step. The next note is a whole step. The next note is a whole step. And the next note is a half step. Now if we break this in half, so that's whole step, half step. First 4 notes are whole step, half step. Now we go up another whole step, and the next 4 notes are also whole step, half step. So we have these 2 halves of a scale that are made up of whole step, half step. And they're separated by a whole step. Now the reason I'm telling you all this, because right now we're going to be playing in the key of B flat. And we do this because The trumpets and the clarinets and the tenor saxophones are B-flat instruments. So now the B-flat scale starts on B-flat. And if we do the same pattern, B-flat, a whole step, that brings us to C, right? From here to here is a half step, that's a half step. So here's a whole step. From here to here is a whole step. So we have whole step, whole step. Now we need to have a half step. That's where our half step is. So we have a whole step, a half step. Now, the two parts of the scale are separated by a whole step. So we go up another whole step up to F. Okay, now we have whole step, half step. Whole step, half step. B-flat major scale has that note in it. That's B-flat. Instead of this note, that's B natural. And it also has E-flat in it instead of E natural. Okay, sounds like this. So we're going to do the same exercise that we did in the C scale, but now it's a little bit more complicated because right here, notice how I have to kind of jump over that mallet. This is a little thing about timing. Now I'm going to play it faster and faster. Now notice how when I started playing it faster, instead of playing it here on the center of the bar, I started playing on the edge of the bar. Right on the edge, not there, but right on the edge. Now next we'll play the whole scale. Okay, B flat, and we go up to the ninth. So right here, this stick has to hop over that stick, comes back to play G. Now watch this. This hand is going to play the B flat, but it's going to stay there because the left hand is going to play the C, and this right hand is going to play the B flat again. So if we don't move it, we're not going to miss it. Here's our scale. Okay, so now let's play this first exercise right here. Exercise 1, first time together. So I'm going to start my metronome. As you know, when we play drums and things, we always advise you to get the metronome going. So I use this metronome. These are free online. I don't think I'm going to play that fast. Here's 72 beats a minute. Okay, you can hear that click. So now I'm going to play this first line, and I'm going to put my one hand over the B flat, the other hand over the C. Okay, so it's going to go like this. Ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next line. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now you notice I counted, and since we just had quarter notes, I just counted quarter notes. Did you notice how when I moved my hands, this very first part went B, C, B, flat. The next part went, so our hands are right over the notes. So we have to be careful. Keep our hands right over the notes. And then we did another shift, and then we go down the scale. Now I alternated down the scale. I did right, left, right. Another way to do it would be to double those two notes because they're right together. This is the C and the D. Another way would be to go right, left, right, left. It uses some double strokes to make things much more convenient. So you have my permission to do that. You'll also notice, even though we'll tell you that we want you to alternate the sticks when you play 3 of the same note, it's okay to use the same hand. And you're just going down, up, down, up, down, up. Again, the simple basic motion, down, up, down, up. I'm not throwing my hand up first. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And I also don't let the mallet just bounce off the bar and bounce off someplace else. I'm careful to pull it off the bar. And so I know right where it is. So now, if I'm going back and forth between these two notes, I'm never going to miss them. Because I also have to watch the conductor, right? So I'm never going to miss them, as long as I keep them right over. But if I play it like this, that's, that's called sloppy motion. Now let's look to number 2. This is called hot counting buns. And we use the same notes, but they're just in a little bit different order. We start on the D and go down to the B flat. And this song basically is made up of 3 notes. Alternate. I want you to go either right, left, or left, right, left. If I start with my right hand, the left hand plays the C, and then I have to move my whole arm over to the B flat to hit the B flat. Now, if I have to play this really fast, if I move my arm back and forth like that, I'm going to start missing notes once I get too fast. If I play this starting with the left hand, now my right hand is making the move. But notice I'm not having to move my whole arm. I just have to twist my wrist. See how that works? So remember when I told you we have this position, we generally consider kind of a neutral position, but we also have this position and we also have this position. And that's because we can travel further by twisting our wrist in some instances than moving our whole arm. Those are the things that we think about when we're choosing a sticking. So I think it might be easier for you to go left, right, 3, 4, left. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We could make you alternate, but it's okay to play with one hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Hot counting buns. It's really hot cross buns. Let's play this with the metronome. By the way, did you hear that mistake I made back there? I hit the wrong note. I forgot what note I was aiming for. That happens to everybody, and I thought I'd leave that in so you don't feel bad about playing wrong notes. We don't want to play wrong notes, but sometimes it happens. Okay, we're going to play, again, these 2 lines. Here we go. 1, 2, ready, play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. So this is Dr. S with your mallet lesson number 2. Okay, we'll see you next time. Take care.